Hello everybody, my name is Sam Cabriales and I'm a CPA and partner at Presto Payco Payroll Services. Thanks for watching our channel. If you haven't subscribed before, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below to get additional free content. Today, I'll be talking about Form I-9, which is the employee's verification of work eligibility. So, why is it important to have this form on file? It's important to have it on file because in the event of an audit, you could be subjected to high fines and penalties. Make sure the form is filled out and signed and dated by the employee on the date of hire. The employer must verify the documents provided to verify identity and employment authorization within 3 days of hire. So now, let's jump onto the form. So here's the Form I-9. And once again, it's called the Employment Eligibility Verification Form. It is used to verify employment authorization and identity. The employers must comply with having the employee fill out this form to verify that they are who they say they are and that they are authorized to work in the U.S. And Section 1 is to be filled out by the employee with his or her information. As you can see here, this area is for the last name, their first name, middle initial, their address, city or town, their state, their zip code, their date of birth, and their social security number. They can, as an option, put their email address and telephone number. Then they would say if they're a U.S. citizen, a non-citizen national of the United States, a lawful permanent resident, or an alien authorized to work in the U.S. Please note that if a lawful permanent resident, they must enter their alien registration number here. And if they have an authorization to work in the U.S., they would put the expiration date on this line. This area, again, is to be filled out by the employee. If the employee gets assistance, then the preparer would fill out this section, noting that they assisted the employee. Remember that the employee must sign and date on the date of hire. So once again, Section 1 is for the employee. If the preparer assists the employee to fill it out, they will fill out this section. Then we go to Section 2. This section is where the employer gathers documents to verify identity and verify work authorization. There is List A of documents, List B, or List C. We will move on to the last page 3 of this document so that I can show you what types of ID and work authorization are authorized. So List A documents to establish both identity and employment authorization. So with this one, you'll suffice both of them. The U.S. passport, the permanent resident card, a foreign passport that contains a temporary I-551 stamp, temporary I-551 printed notation, or an employment authorization document that contains a photograph, form I-766. We also have List B and C. If you're not able to get a document from List A, you can get in exchange List B and C. For List B, we have the driver's license, the ID card, the school ID, the voter's registration card, the U.S. military card, as some examples. And List C, we have their social security number, their certificate of birth, or an original or certified copy of birth certificate issued by a state, county, or municipal authority or territory of the United States bearing an official seal. In practice, what's seen a lot is a driver's license and a social security number. The employer has to look at these documents and verify them. So I'll go ahead and show you some images of List A documents that will suffice to prove both identity and employment authorization. And I'll show you a list of B and C documents that are used in combination to verify identity and employment authorization, as you can see on this page. So let's go to the List A. Once again, it would be a passport, the U.S. passport card. You get front and back. The permanent resident card, or commonly known as the green card. As some examples of List A documents. List B documents are the state-issued driver's license and the ID. List C documents be the U.S. Social Security card, the birth certificate, a certified copy of a birth certificate. So let's go back to the form. We'll go to page 2 where we left off. In this area, we said again that List A documents Verify identity and employment authorization. If you get a passport, you start filling in here passport, issued by the Department of State, and the expiration date. Remember that you must look at the document to make sure that it looks original. It doesn't look tampered with or non-standard. If you're not able to get a List A document, you can go ahead and get List B and C documents to verify identity and employment authorization. So let's say that for List B, we got the driver's license. So we would put driver's license issued by the Department of Public Safety, the driver's license number, and the expiration date. Once again, you look at the license to make sure it looks legitimate. List C documents. And for List C documents, you can get a Social Security card. So you would put the Social Security card issued by the Social Security Administration, the number and the expiration date, if any, since it doesn't apply. So once these documents are gathered, whether you do just List A or you do B and C combined to provide proof of identity and employment authorization, you can move on to the certification by the employer, where you attest that you looked at those documents and that they looked okay. Here, you would remember, you have to do this within 3 days of hire. You would fill out this section with the signature, the date, the title of the authorized representative, the last name of the employer or authorized representative, the first name of the employer's business or organization name, the city or town, state, and zip code. Section 3 is randomly used. I recommend personally to do a new I-9. Section 3 is done to re-verify a person that is rehired. So say, for example, you hire somebody and then they left and come back. You can do this re-verification, saying I went ahead and looked at the documents again in case they expired, and then you would put your last name, first name, the date, the document title, document number, and the expiration date, sign and date, and the name of the employer or the authorized representative. So once again, thank you very much for watching our channel. If you have any additional questions, go ahead and email us at support@prestopayco.com, or you may also call us at 956-739-5540 for additional questions.